DeSean Jackson just retired after 15 years in the NFL. This was his second game Monday night at the Star when Donovan McNabb let this one rip and DeSean Jackson got behind the Cowboys. And he did a little oopsie-daisy right there and dropped it before he got into the end zone. But DeSean Jackson leaves in the NFL history with the most 60-plus yard touchdowns scored, including this punt return against the Washington franchise. The fifth game of his career. A 68-yard punt return, and once he got to the outside right here, it was hit the Jets, Katie bar the door, it was time to dance in the paint. There's number one of a record number 26 60-plus yard touchdowns, play action right here against the Cardinals, and right here. DeSean Jackson gets behind the defense right here. Little hot potato right there, but he gets both hands on it and he's dancing. He did a lot of dancing on teams. Against the Saints right here. They love this play right here. Just this over route, this deep post, split the safeties, and he was gone 71 yards for that touchdown at Lincoln Financial Field. They would see this route a lot during his time. And then he took this just 5-yard quick slant right here and just split the safeties right here. And then it was just out to the races. You could have put your morning cup of Starbucks coffee on the helmet of his right there and he wouldn't have spilt a drop. Well, maybe when he did that somersault with a bad groin that day, probably not advised by Andy Reid. However, he kept going against the Giants. Remember how he attacked those safeties right here? Like here they are again. See, you get underneath right here, you get the tight end attacking one safety and DeSean Jackson over the top. We just saw that play a couple plays ago against the Saints. The other safety couldn't did it as DeSean, a back step into the end zone. There was all different ways that he scored, including this punt return. I can't believe punters still punted to DeSean Jackson. This one 85 yards against the Carolina Panthers. And that stride never changed. From year 1 to year 15. It never changed. The speed never slowed down. Oh, the Giants. The former Eagle, Jeff Fiegels, punted to the Eagle, DeSean Jackson. And he would back up right here, whoop, and hit the joystick, and then he would go down the sidelines. Make Fiegels miss as he'd go 72 yards to pay dirt right there, high-stepping it into the end zone. Pick up the hymn books. This game was over. And then against Jacksonville, it wasn't McNabb, it was Mike Vick this time. Over here on the sideline, and he'd outrun the pursuit. He knew he was in the end zone. And then, how about this? Mike Vick with that big arm. Monday night, first play of the game, 60-yard rope to DeSean Jackson. Gets behind the defense. Could he outrun the back judge? Oh, yeah. Even backwards, he could outrun him. 88 yards on that touchdown and a spike. 12 seconds to go in this game. 31-31. A miracle in the Meadowlands. Could it happen again? 2010, 12 seconds to go. Here we go. Matt Dodge punts it. DeSean Jackson bobbles it, picks it up though, and then boom. Just like that. He knew it right there that it was done. The game was over. It was into the tunnel as DeSean Jackson went 65 yards right there, and he just kept on running. Here's another look at it from another angle right here. Eagles setting up the return right here, not letting the Giants out, but Matt Dodge, he punted it short. DeSean bobbled it, and right here. He's just charting his path right here to go 65 yards for the game winner. Oh, he knew it. It was time to celebrate on this one. Nothing like the game winner with no time left on the clock. How about this in 2011? Up 13-10 in the fourth quarter. Mike Vick at quarterback. Here you go. DeSean Jackson. Here he is coming across the field right here, and he picks it off, and he outruns both safeties right here. 62 yards for a touchdown. And then he took his Formula One act to the Superdome. Down 21-3 right here. Mike Vick rolls out right here, and here it is. Throw back across the field, and he got this one into gear. Picked up a couple blocks. DeSean Jackson went 77 yards to get him back in the game, outrunning Malcolm Jenkins into the end zone. Oh, this was good. Against the Chargers. Eagles down 20-13 to Arizona right here. Mike Vick on a second look finds DeSean Jackson streaking down the right sideline, 61 yards to tie this game up. How about this one? 2014. Chip said, that's Chip, as in Chip Kelly said, see ya to Mike Vick. So what did he do? He went to Washington. And here you go. Kirk Cousins at quarterback. DeSean Jackson took his act here to Washington, beating his old team right there. Right in front of Chip Kelly, breaks the tackle, and he starts dancing right there on that Eagles logo. One time was his home. This time, Washington invades. DeSean Jackson does fly, Eagles fly. And then against Seattle, 2014, Kirk Cousins gets outside the pocket and flips it to DeSean Jackson. He breaks the tackle, and he does the rest, 60 yards on that touchdown. Against the Cardinals, Kirk Cousins let this one rip, and here he is. I mean, we've seen this too many times. Just outruns all the pursuit, all the defense. Even when he slows it down and walks into the end zone, there's nobody in the picture. He had that kind of a cushion. RG3 got into the act too in Washington. Big Trent leads the way right here. A little bubble screen on the outside. Trent gets a hit right there to the safety of the Cowboys. Oh, DeSean Jackson, did he love going against the Cowboys. He's checked in his rearview mirror twice that time, taking this one 69 yards for a touchdown. And against the Giants, play action. How about this? Kirk Cousins, man, just gets right behind that Giant defense. 63 yards. Oh, murder she wrote on that Sunday afternoon. Up 21-3 to third quarter against Buffalo. It got a whole lot worse. Kirk Cousins off play action. 2 receiver out on the outside. Thrown a little bit short. Makes 2 Buffalo Bills miss as he goes 77 yards. Hopping into the end zone for that touchdown. 28-3, Washington. How about this against Dallas? Down 24-12 on 3rd and 2 in the fourth quarter. Blown cover by Dallas. You blow a coverage against DeSean Jackson, he's going to make you pay. Oh, yeah, I thought you had him. No, I thought you had him. Well, DeSean Jackson on a stop and go, 67 yards on that star in Dallas. How many times did he do that? And then just more payback against the Birds. It never really stopped. DeSean Jackson right here from Kirk Cousins, 80 yards. Dropped it right in the bucket. Anybody going to come get him? Nope. There we go. 80-yard touchdown at the Link in South Philadelphia. Couldn't have been sweeter. And then in 2018, here we go. Tampa against the Eagles. More payback against the Eagles. First play of the game. Fitzpatrick to DeSean Jackson. Blown coverage, perhaps. Didn't matter. DeSean Jackson went 75 yards against his old team right there. Put Tampa Bay up 7-0 on the opening game of the season. Against Cincinnati, Jameis Winston got into the act for Tampa. Oh yeah, down at the bottom, DeSean Jackson just flying right by. Probably William Jackson III. Whoever was at that corner, it made no difference. They don't even want to see it. 60 yards on that one. And in 2020, returned to right here. He came back to Philadelphia for a year. Yeah, Howie Roseman said we should have never let you go. Chip Kelly made that move. But again, he's putting one up on the Cowboys. 81 yards and a flip against the Cowboys. And then with the Rams, 2021 with the Rams, Matt Stafford. How about this on Monday Night Football against Tampa? What a career DeSean Jackson had. Such an explosive weapon. Most 60-plus yard touchdowns in a career. Nobody did it with such flair and such speed as DeSean Jackson over 15 years.